Are you tired and dealing with low energy? If the first thing you think about when you wake up is when can you go back to bed again, and you're chugging coffee and Red Bull, energy drinks, and pre-workout like they're going out of style, then you have broken energy systems and you need to figure this out. You need to stop running on free energy, you need to fuel your body correctly, and then you need to recover so that you can tackle each day with full and everlasting energy. You should wake up, have lots of energy in the morning, tackle your daily tasks, and then still have enough left over at the end of the day to do some extracurricular things. I hear a lot of people that say once they get home from work, that is it. Falling asleep after dinner, crashing on the couch. The thought of going out and doing something is simply off the table. That is no way to live. So, let's go through some specific things that you can do right now to supercharge your energy systems and get this stuff back on track. The first thing we should discuss is diet. We know that calories come from the food we eat, and that is direct energy that our body can use. So if you're not eating regularly throughout the day and you're having these spikes and crashes with your blood sugar, you're going to have low energy that comes with it. So I recommend most people that are just trying to get their energy back on track eat every 4 to 5 hours and 3 square meals a day as a baseline. I used to suggest a ton of intermittent fasting, and while that can be really good for some people, when you're dealing with energy crashes or low energy throughout the day, you need to fuel your body steady energy and regular meal timing. So it has to be protein centered. That is the most blood sugar stabilizing and energy stabilizing nutrient we have access to. So high quality meats, beef, fish, chicken, eggs, lamb, pork, turkey, that should be the centerpiece of all your meals. So make sure to start there. Another big mistake I see people make is they have way too many carbs and just too much volume at lunchtime. And then they have this inevitable crash and drop in energy between 1 and 4 p.m. So what you want to do is focus on getting rid of the hunger signal, getting enough protein and healthy fats at lunch, and then just moving on with your day. If you go into a food coma after lunch, of course you're not going to be productive. And then you're just going to be chasing another high-end hit of food later in the day. So protein first, high quality fruits and vegetables, and healthy fats, which is going to be egg yolks, nuts and seeds, avocado, coconut oil, olive oil, and things of that nature. But the big thing is 3 square meals a day, 4 to 5 hours between meals. Chew really well and fuel yourself with the right protein so that your blood sugar and energy stays steady throughout the day, no spikes and crashes. The next one for energy is hydration. I see a lot of people walk around and exist in a dehydrated fog. And you need lots of water for not only just your energy, but your joints and your muscles and your digestive system and your ability to regulate body temperature, prevent headaches. It just goes on and on. You cannot walk around dehydrated. So if you want awesome energy, you have to hydrate the cells of your body. How do we do that? We drink not just water, but the right electrolytes and salts with it. You also need to make sure you get a bottle like this that you can just bring around with you so you know, okay, I need to hit X amount of water each day. I have this bottle. How many times do I have to fill it? The math becomes pretty easy. Where people go wrong is they'll do cups, mugs, and glasses, and they'll have no idea how much water they consumed. Did they get enough salt on their food? Are they using electrolytes? So the formula is 1 liter of water per 50 pounds body weight each day. That is the baseline for good health. Now, if it's a really hot day or you sweat a lot, you might need to have more, but that is the baseline, okay? So do your calculation. If you weigh 150 pounds, that's around 3 liters a day. You need to use pink sea salt, white sea salt, Celtic sea salt, some type of high quality salt on your food so that that balances your electrolytes, because if you just drink too much pure water, you'll flush out your electrolytes. So you need both in order to hydrate and have awesome energy levels. Coffee is an interesting one. If you have low energy, you're going to want to reach for it. If you didn't get enough sleep and you're feeling sluggish, you're going to want to hit a coffee. So I try and recommend that people stick to 1 or 2 cups and have it done by lunchtime. It's always the dose dictates the poison. And coffee is a great beverage because of the polyphenols and the antioxidants in it. And it also helps reduce and prevent diabetes type 2. But too much of anything can be problematic. So when people go past that 3, 4, 5 cups a day, that's when it starts to backfire. So keep it to 1 to 2 And for those of you with sleep issues and anxiety, you might even want less. So keep an eye on that, okay? We should also discuss nutrients that your energy system needs and then look for foods that have them. So the main nutrients I see for low energy cases where we need to do better is iron problems, B12 problems, thyroid problems, which directly relates to iodine, and then vitamin D levels, and then some type of dysregulation with the stress or cortisol system, which we'll touch on in a sec. So where do we get a lot of iron and B12 from? Well, that's high quality meats. Red meats in particular, game meats are also a really good source of both of those nutrients, iron and B12. Iodine to support thyroid and metabolism and energy, that comes from the ocean in the form of really any seafood and fish. So when people are not getting 2 to 3 servings of stuff from the ocean each week, their iodine levels tend to drop. And that's because you sweat it out and burn through it with your biomechanical processes. Some other nutrients that are really critical for energy: creatine, carnitine, carnosine. All of these type of nutrients come from high quality meats. So that's why I'm a big fan. Anyone dealing with low energy should eat red meat 3 to 4 times a week. And that could be beef, lamb, or any of the game meats. But this is critical, especially for those females out there that are bleeding each month with their cycle. They're always chasing that low iron. It's the easiest way to correct it is just get the high quality meats into your system. Past that, you could look at desiccated liver or desiccated liver capsules as a supplement. Or if you don't mind cooking up some liver or adding it to the meats that you already consume, go for it. That is something that my generation and the generation beneath me has had a really hard time with getting their heads around, because our parents and grandparents used to eat a lot of liver, at least a couple times a week, and that is simply just totally gone when it comes to dinner time these days. So adding the desiccated liver capsules is a way I found around it to get some high quality nutrients back into the body. This provides B12, iron, copper, and some protein, which is a wonderful support to the system and ends up being a really nice multivitamin when you look at everything it offers. Now let's move into lifestyle changes. Some things you really need to do in order to have awesome energy first thing in the morning and then sustain it all day. A big one is exercise first thing in the morning. What happens is when you wake up, your cortisol levels start nice and high. That's your stress hormone. And then as the day goes, they start to fade and drop because you want your cortisol to be low at night so you can fall asleep easily. Otherwise, if cortisol stays high at night, it antagonizes melatonin, and then it becomes very hard to fall asleep at night. So if you have this natural rise and spike of cortisol and stress hormone in the morning, that is the best time to just ride that straight into the gym and have an awesome workout. You will literally leave there feeling high for the entire day. This turns on your mitochondria, it spikes your energy, and it just propels you through the entire day. Also, it just gets your mind right to tackle all the things coming at you, and then you're way less likely to blow off the exercise later in the day. So ride that cortisol high into the gym. That is an awesome thing if you want amazing, amazing energy. Past that, if the only time you can work out is later in the day or midday, definitely do it there, but just realize you're going to get that spike of cortisol, which is just transient for a little bit, and it will come down. But that's sometimes why too much working out late at night can backfire, and then it's really hard to fall asleep at night. So just keep that in mind where you place your workout. And then we should talk about sleep. There's some basics I do on sleep hygiene. I've done an entire video on this, so if you want more in-depth look at sleep, I'll link this in the show notes. But essentially, you want a cold, dark, and quiet room. These are very important things to have. So blackout blinds, a certain temperature of, say, around 19, 20, 21 degrees Celsius, depending on your preference. Too hot or too cold will be problematic, so that's kind of the sweet spot that I find. And then obviously it has to be quiet. So do your best to soundproof it, because any of those things can disrupt your sleep. You're shooting for 7 hours or more each night, and you want to try and keep the to bed and wake up times roughly the same. If you get too far away from that, then your body is just guessing. It doesn't know when to release melatonin, or maybe you're getting cortisol spikes at night. But either way, sleep is absolutely paramount for high quality energy. That's when you drain your brain, that's when you consolidate memories, that's when you heal your tissues, and that's when you recharge the entire system. So don't think that you can just take a supplement or pound back more coffee or another hit of pre-workout is going to get you through. That might sustain you for a few months and years, but eventually you'll hit a burnout. So prioritize sleep, make sure you're getting 7 or more hours each night. And if there is a problem of like waking up groggy, or can't turn the mind off at night, or you're waking up between 2 and 3 a.m. consistently, we have fixes for all those. And as I said earlier, I've done a whole video on this, and this is a big piece that I tackle with all my patients. So if you're not getting optimal sleep, we can fix that, we can help. Just let me know in the comments below if you have any questions around that, and I'll definitely link that other video as well. The last item when it comes to lifestyle is stress. And I always say this, there's no way to totally avoid it. As long as we're alive, you're gonna be dealing with stress. The only people that don't have stress are dead people. So it could be work, family, relationships, workouts. It's all just varying kinds of stress. Could be mental, emotional, could be physical. It's going to be coming at us whether we like it or not. The question is, can you deal with it? And are you resilient enough? And if you work on both those things, you'll be able to better deal with the ups and downs of life and the stress that comes with it. But understand that tons of stress burns the system. It burns through tons of micronutrients like B vitamins, which are super important for energy. So that's another thing I always look at with patients when they're dealing with low energy is the stress and just the threshold they've been living at burning out their micronutrient pool? It definitely could be, so I'll do a lot of micronutrient testing for those kind of cases. But you want to do things to help blow off stress: regular exercise, proper sleep. You can do deep breathing and meditation. You can do acupuncture. You can do sauna, infrared sauna, steam room. You could do the sensory deprivation tanks. Whatever it ends up being, there has to be some sort of outlet. Because if you just sit at a desk all day or go through your day and all that pent up energy just builds and builds and builds and you have no way to shake it out, then it will eventually start to crush your system. And what I find is the hormones start to go out of whack, the blood sugar system can start to go out of whack, and the cause is really just a disrupted adrenal and stress system. So that's how important this is. And yes, I'm not just gonna sit here and say, don't be stressed and, oh, don't worry about that. There's stuff we gotta worry about, and that's life. But there are tools and things you can do to help abate that. And that's some of the treatments and lifestyle things I was just talking about. We use lots of herbs and adrenal support to help with that cortisol rhythm. And so lots can be done. Don't ever think you're alone. There are people out there that can help. I am one of them, okay? So if you have questions on this, if you need help with your energy systems, or maybe you've been to your doctor and they've said your lab results look fine, but you still feel terrible, then drop me a comment below or send me a message. I'd be happy to help and explore this with you. And if anyone in your life would benefit from this information, please share it with them. It would mean a lot. And as always, thank you for watching.